How's it going, guys? Seeker here. I know this video is a little bit late, but I did want to get it up and out there anyway. This is going to be my high score challenge run for the Aladdin and Carpet. I think it's the Aladdin and Carpet medal. We're just going to go ahead and jump right into it. As per usual, we're going to go ahead and take a look at my setup. I have already run it, and I have already completed it. I am going to try to get a slightly higher score in this video if possible, but there are some things that I did want to point out. So first things first is we're going to go ahead and we're going to look at the setup. I've gotten 48.7 million. As of recording this video, we're about an hour and a half away from the score finalizing, or the placement finalizing. So hopefully I can keep the 22 slots between me and 2000 so I can get the top 2000. But I am an idiot and I missed the KH2 Namine with it. I believe I could crack 50 million, but I don't have it. So my setup is as follows. Just a bunch of the medals that I do have that are for the percent bonus, 10%, 10%, 10%. And then the focus of the setup is to go for just a ton of damage. So there is an attack boost 5 on every single one of my tier 7 medals here. Again, that Final Form Sora, it still has garbage traits, but I went ahead and guilted all of these for this event. That max HP is useless as well. And then the Orin is completely useless. But I was lucky, and during the DuckTales banner, I did pull a Scrooge, so that's going to be my main buffer medal for this event. So I'm going to go in, and one of my party members actually pulled a Sora and Kairi. So that's where the main score percentage boost is going to come from. So we're going to go into this with 71%. And I'm going to show you guys how this will be enough to get us that score. We're starting out on pretty low SP, but that shouldn't matter. Oh, the auto button took over. That shouldn't really matter too much. The Scrooge gives us back 7 SP, so it's going to be no problem getting that back. I probably should have grabbed that chest, but I'm a little bit tired right now, so I'm just going to run through it real quick. So we're going to tap there, and we're going to be trying to use the L method as much as possible in this video. For those of you who don't know what the L method is, an oversimplified version of the L method is when you're running the high score challenge, in order to get the highest score possible off the bonus score from every single enemy, you want to buff using very weak medals per se, and then you save the medal that's actually going to take out the enemies for your last hit. You want one medal to be dealing as much damage as possible. And I know that sounds kind of weird. For anyone who doesn't know what the L method is, that's not going to make a whole lot of sense. But you can go ahead and look that up. There's tons of videos on it. But we're going to be trying to use that as much as possible to finish this event. So I'm going to tap over here, and then I'm going to hit this guy. It's not going to quite take him out. He is going to survive that, and then we're going to use the Riku. And this is just going to be pretty much the format that I'm going to run it for. I'm never going to use that Orin because I think I can do much more damage just by getting that buff off the Scrooge McDuck and then using the Riku to come in. And even though only one of its hits is landing, and again, for those of you who don't really know what the L method is, this isn't going to make much sense for you. But for those of you who do know what the L method is and know what I'm talking about, then you understand what I'm saying. Like, not very many of the Riku's hits are going to hit, but it's worth trying to go for that damage anyway. So just gonna breeze through this. It's pretty easy. I could basically just run it on autopilot, except for that Orin would be getting in the way. So what I'm trying to do with the Scrooge McDuck is I'm trying to use it on enemies that are not the main enemy or the enemy with the most HP, because in order to take advantage of the L method and try to get in an extra hit with that Riku, I'm trying to keep their HP as high as it can be, because they are going to be the enemies with the most HP, just the boss enemy of each group, if you will. So we're just going to keep chugging along this way. And then the way I've got my medals set up, so there's a lot of attack boosts on there. There's 2 medals that I'm not even going to be using. Never going to use their special attacks. Are the Orin and the Neku. Now on this, a little bit of trial and error here, but I'm going to use the Scrooge McDuck on the Rat, and then use the Riku. This Coffin does regenerate HP, so we're going to try to take advantage of that. So we're just going to tap it and try to get its HP low without killing it. And then right here, we're going to use the Sora and Kairi, and that should knock it down into a range of HP where it will regenerate. Okay, no, so we didn't get the regeneration there, but that's okay. We can do one more turn against it. because the way this is set up, I do have the 1 recovery from my pet, and then I have a second chance 3 on the Scrooge McDuck. So we'll go ahead and get the buff, and then we're just gonna tap and swipe, being very careful to try to avoid killing it, so that it will regenerate its HP, and then we can generate score, or we can generate score based off of the HP that it's actually regenerating. So we're gonna go ahead and yeah, let's use the Scrooge McDuck here. Yeah, that only did 3 bars, so we should be good. So that Riku's gonna come in. I don't think that 3rd hit landed, but that shouldn't be too much of a problem. So I think the next round from here is the Behemoth. Yep, and we're already at 30 million, so it's looking pretty good. Not going to use this Orin. So just gonna tap with the Orin, and then use the Scrooge. Then I'm going to use my Riku. And then what I'm going to do here is I'm going to tap with the Neku, and I'm going to tap with the other metals as well. And the reason for this is because the only metal in this setup that's a magic metal is the Riku, and I want it to be doing as much damage as possible to the Behemoth, and I want to make sure all of its attacks land. So it is going to hit me with the lightning, that's going to kill me, but my pet is going to revive me and get that paralysis off me. And then I'm going to go ahead and tap. Then we're going to use that Scrooge again, and if you look above my head, I have an upright buff of 3 right now, and that's because on the end there is the Sora and Kairi, and that's a 2-turn buffer that gives you the strength buff. So that will carry over. So now I have the Scrooge McDuck one as well, so it should be an upright buff of 5, and then the Riku will buff itself up to 6. So that's going to ensure, because of that Sora and Kairi carrying over from the last turn, that's going to ensure that it gets as much damage in as it can possibly get. And then from here we're just gonna tap it out. You just use the Sora to finish off. It doesn't really matter what you finish it with, like at this point. The only thing that matters is that Riku, because it's the appropriate color matchup for the Behemoth, got in as much damage as it could possibly get. So then with this setup, because I have 2 revivals, I should be able to 3-turn this thing. So let's go ahead and we're going to tap with the Orin, and then we're going to use the Scrooge, regenerate that missing SP, and then SP is going to get really, really tight against the Iron Giant here. So we're going to let that Riku get in its damage, go in with Neku, and then just run the rest of the Keyblade from here. And I can't remember, I don't think I had to use my Nova, but the Nova is there as a backup in case there's just a few extra bars that need to be dealt with. Okay, so 1525 after the first round, and it started with like a little over 2,000, but again, because that buff is carrying over from the Kairi, now all my medals are going to start with an extra 3-tier upright boost. So that's actually going to enable me to do a lot more damage this round than I was able to do last round. So we're going to try that again. And then I did put attack boost 5 maxes on all of these just to be able to deal enough damage to the Iron Giant to actually take it out, because this thing is, they probably made it like a little bit too strong, because of course, like everyone knows, the high score challenges are geared towards trying to make you spend money and trying to make you buy the new medals, and they really ensured that that would be the case. In order to succeed at this, you have to be able to survive this thing or deal enough damage, but with the medals available for the medal pool, for the percentage medals, defense really isn't an option, so I had to commit into basically just like all-out attack. So I did put attack boost 5 max on all these tier 7 medals. I hope I don't regret that, but they are tier 7 medals, and they're kind of like the only batch of medals that we really have right now. So I don't think I'll end up regretting that too much. And there it is. Got it. Didn't even need to use the Nova or the last Sora and Kairi. So total score just a little bit under what I got last time. I think I'll run this again with a critical hit perk. But I did want to get this video out there just to kind of show the high score challenge, where I was at on it and how to do it. I know this video is probably not going to be uploaded in time to really help anyone out, but I did want to get it up there anyway. As always, if you have any comments for me, comments for each other, always support each other in this community, always support each other throughout this game. always make sure that everyone's kind of being able to complete events as much as possible. That's the aim of this channel, and I think that should be the aim of the community. So getting this video out there, if you have any comments for me, comments for anyone else, leave them down below, and I will catch you guys in the next one.